Okay. Again, if there's noise, let me know. Otherwise, let's get rolling. So, want to make a video once again over, I believe this will be this past Wednesday. And as always, if you have questions, just feel free to ask. By the way, just because I'm making more videos does not mean I'm not studying. Let me make that clear. My videos are good. I'm very confident in my understanding of Al's material. However, I'm not Al. The video course of Al's is going to be far better than my videos. If you don't, my goal with these videos is just to supplement Al's teaching through the webinars and his price action and his video course. It's a way for me to review, share my thoughts, and hopefully help somebody. So, again, this is meant, what I'm doing here is meant to supplement and maybe helps better clarify something that maybe someone's confused on. But you got to study Al's material, plain and simple. So first things first, we had a channel, basically consecutive sell climaxes, trading range for the past few hours, then trend reversal, trend resumption, and we ended up getting trend reversal on the open, and there was the day. So basically kind of a small pullback trend day that went sideways for most of the day, which is what happens in small opening, trend from the open, small pullback trends. So a few things to kind of note. Let me see if I make the bar spacing a little bit possibly bigger. I don't know, what does 25 do? Okay, that was not, well, I don't know, that's okay. I'm okay with it. So, first things first, got 15 minutes, so let's roll with it. I know it's not a straight line, but here. Now it's a straight line. First bar, we broke below the low of the day. As you know, we've been in the trading range for several bars, arguably ever since here. So 20% chance it is the low of the day. I think, is it an okay sell? Yeah, it's an okay sell, but the biggest issue for most traders is that, let me just go ahead and do this. Let's make it so I can kind of go back and forth without having to lose my spot every time. Well, whoops. There we go. This will allow me to go back and forth with ease, kind of play with the chart more. So first thing to note is this. It's a lot of risk. It's a big bar, big risk. 1 times your risk is here. 2 times your risk is there. Whenever you have big risk, you have to be thinking possible trap and 50-50 chance on the open the first move fails. Bar 2, closed on its tail. Not a great bar, but it's a reasonable buy betting on trap bulls. I think a lot of your always in bears that sold below, or any bear that sold this first swing, is going to get out above bar 2. Bar 3, great looking follow through bar. You can see a lot of bears that sold the close or sold below. If they sold the close, they were disappointed they got out on the third bar. If they sold below, they were unable to get out on the third bar. At this point, I think it's always in long. Traders will buy the close, buy above, stop below. And you're kind of betting on a few things. If I bought here and, I'd obviously put my stop here. Am I going to go for a reward based on, that? I don't know. Typically on the open, I think it's better to, give everything a chance. The open's the highest point when the best time when you have a chance of a big move. So it's always in long, buy the close, stop below. Smaller bar, 3 consecutive bull bars, probably first up will fail. Probably going to get some sort of measure move up at a minimum, probably that. 4 consecutive bull bars, clearly always in long. Possible tight trading range, final flag. We're back in the apex. We may, possible targets this high or this high. I think we'll at least test up to here. and we may get a measure move from the, you can see the measure move from this low to this low, projects up to there, no surprise. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, this right here. I just don't think it's as important. I think there's more obvious targets this high, a measure move from, I guess I just use this to this. Anyways. So always in long, first slip should fail. Another big bull bar, clearly going higher. Probably 60% chance we'll get a measure move from this close, from this open to this close. Higher probability obviously from here to there, but again, it's irrelevant. If you're buying, stop down here. First is going to fail. That's why everyone's buying. Second entry is short on a smaller time frame, but such a tight channel that this is probably more profit taking. I would not short. There's no way. If anything, I'm buying below this bar, below a few points below, and you can see what happened. So when you see this, it's tempting to look to sell, but you got to think the bears were not able to. The bears had a micro channel for this many bars. The odds are they'll get a second leg. And if you're buying, wide stop. Why are you seeing this? Well, a lot of bulls are, there's a few reasons you're seeing this. You have bulls who bought more lower, they're getting out of break even. They're disappointed by this. You have bears who are clearly, they said, you have bears basically saying that they were able to sell the close of this bar over here and make money. And they're saying, gee, okay, let's try it again. And then they got trapped, which is why that's a very questionable thing to do in a strong breakout. 3 consecutive bull bars, stop below. Probably the first slip should fail. I think, again, we're going to this target at a minimum. Okay, now we have a second entry short. Would you get out below? You can. Very tight channel. It's a micro channel from here. It's also below this bar. I think we're going above these highs. So again, it's always in the long, stop below here. You can get out. I don't think you have to though. Okay, 3 pushes up, 1, 2, 3. Bears had a lot of, arguably they made money selling this high, but fairly difficult. Probably will make money selling here. Okay, we're at the target, mission accomplished. Some bears will go ahead and get out, betting that will fall below the breakout point. I think it's okay. Otherwise, would I go short? I would not. I think the market will have to go sideways at least for a minimum. And that's why I wouldn't go short. So again, the one problem, this is the difficult thing about these spiking channels, is eventually the spike's the breakout, the channel is the start of a trading range. However, eventually, what you don't know is you're getting gaps, and you have to be a little edge. You got to be a little on edge when you see these gaps form. Although the high was 575 and the low is 5 even, look at this. I mean, just think the margin, just because of trade, as Al put it like this, in a tight channel, if you're selling above bars and you have a small window to make money, selling this high and scaling in, and you have a small window to get out, that is a warning. It's a red flag that it could be difficult, or that you could get trapped. So it's kind of like over here. Just because traders right here, yeah, they were able to make money. You could buy this low, buy more lower, and scalp out. But the overlap's not much. It's very marginal. So that could kind of hint that we're going to go lower. So you got to be worried about that over here. And anyways, possible measuring gap here. I think we'll get up there. But, again, we'll see. Failed to close the gap, trying to close the gap. Okay, we're at the gap right now. So this is always interesting. 3 pushes down, 2 pushes down. The bulls are going to buy for the simple fact it's a trade. They're betting at least a trading range. Worst case would come down to here, but probably won't. The bears are hoping we're going to close this gap. If the bears can close the gap, we're at least in the trading range. And you can see the close of this bar is 81. Low of this bar, 81.25. Looks like the bears are failing. So what happened here? Well, all the bears that sold these closes, sold the high of this bar, or sold up here, betting on this gap closing. Well, they're giving up right here. So It's very dangerous. When you see this bar and we're testing a breakout point and we're just, we're trying to close the gap, and we try several times right here, then we pop up, you need, a lot of traders will get out of shorts and they'll bail out because there's too much risk that we go up to here. Now I have a second bull bar, okay? And at that point, we closed it. So what happened right there? Well, you can argue it's kind of a double top, lower high, major trend reversal. So we have a bear trend, we have a trend line break. If I draw a trend line from here to here, connecting here, we broke the trend line sideways for a few bars. We have a perfect double top here. And these are actually pretty rare. Well, they're not rare, but they're successfully, they're low probability. And the reason for that is when you have some traders, and I use more computers, they'll, right here, they'll say, gee, okay, maybe we'll get a lower high double top, or a double top lower high major trend reversal. Here's the double top and the lower high. And what they'll do is they may sell, if the high of this bar is 780, is 725, they may sell at 725 or 7 even. And, well, excuse me, they'd sell at 7 even, or they may sell the close of this bar, I'm gonna put it this way, at 650 or 675. And they may risk 1 point and put their stop right above 750, betting on a bear breakout and measure move down, kind of like this. And it, again, it's very low risk, which means it's very low probability. And most of the time in that case, you would get stopped out. But even like here, they could, this is one of those examples where, hypothetically speaking, if you, let's say you sold below this bar, you get out below there, 60% chance you scratch. But now we have a wedge, 1, 2, 3, close the gap, probably in a trading range. Bulls will buy, but you have to be a little nervous. Would I buy? I think it's okay to buy. I'd probably put my stop below. It's the first bar below the moving average. So, and but the reason I'd be a little nervous is lower highs, channel, trading range. So I don't think, we went up for several, we went 3 pushes up, 1, 2, 3. I think we'll go sideways. So it's not a great buy. I don't think you have to take it. But you can see, the bulls are trying hard to break out and the bears are selling up here. And that, for the most part, was the day. Just sideways. So, hope this video helps. Comment if you have any questions. Thanks.